So you've got into arcade hardware and you thought, you know what, I'll try out the Atomiswave. But then you turn it on for the first time with your supergun and you hear this over the stream. As you heard, that is shockingly loud, and that's recorded directly off the phone. That's not amplified or anything, that's how it actually sounds. So I'm going to show you how to change it out with a non-solder method with a Noctua fan. Okay, so the fan you're going to be replacing with in the Atomiswave is the Noctua NF A4X10. It's a 40 by 10mm. Now, the one that's inside the Atomiswave is a 42 by 10. This just is a little bit smaller, but a lot quieter. It's a very high quality fan. It's got this massive box. I thought was like a 120mm fan because it was so big, but the fan's tiny, and it comes with loads of connectors for every application. So if you did want to use this on anything else, it's down to you. But for our uses only, we're going to be using the fan and the snap lock connectors that are included. I think they call them Omni Join. Maybe that, I don't even know what it's called. Maybe that's it. But I'm going to call them snap locks, the little adapters so you can just do it without soldering. Nice and easy, nice and clean. But yeah, this is a great fan. About £15 in the UK, about $15 in the US, I think. But this is the one you're going to want, because this is like the daddy of the 40 by 10mm. So as you heard from the intro, the Atomiswave fan is extremely loud. Live streaming is awful to do because even when you're far away from it, the fan is so loud that it's screaming like a banshee and it just overwrites everything. It's so loud. I think this is called a Nidec fan. I think it's 7,500 RPM. But with the size and the speed of the fan, it's really loud. So yeah, if you're going to do the no solder way of connecting the fan, you just want to cut these 3 wires and remove these 2 screws and throw the fan straight in the sea. It's gone. Get rid of it. I don't think you're ever going to want to put it back together with this fan. It's up to you if you do, but like if you cut it in the middle on the wires down here, you're going to have plenty if you did want to connect it again, but I don't think you'd ever want to after you've changed it. So yeah, no solder. Cut down here and leave 3 wires for your fan mod. But if you're going to do a solder version of it and you like soldering the wires, these screws here, you know, they're around the top shield. You're going to have to take them out, and I think the connector to the audio that's at the back over here, you're going to have to remove a couple of like hex nuts if you want to solder some pins afterwards to get sound, but you'll see that in the next bit. Okay, so in the Noctua fan kit, you'll need a couple of bits. There's loads in there, but you don't need it all. You'll get the actual fan, which is out of shot here, but there's obviously the wire, and it's going to have a connector on it. Now, that connector is no good for us because it won't fit anything that we're using today, so you're just going to cut it straight off and leave the wires bare. So you're going to have 3 wires, which is black, red, and yellow. Now, you'll also need these out of the kit. These are snap lock connectors. They're like little tabs, kind of like orange tabs with a metal bar inside, and when you press them with pliers, they connect to the 2 wires that you've put in them because they have holes at the bottom. So as you can see in this photo, it's kind of wrong. Well, it's not kind of, it's definitely wrong. So I assumed that you would do red to red, black to black, yellow to yellow. Now, with the Atomiswave, this yellow wire here from the Atomiswave connector isn't a tack wire. It's basically like a ground wire, I think, to tell you that the system's on and everything's okay and safe. If you connect it the way I've done here and then plug it all back in, it will work and the fan will work at the right speed, but you'll have no sound on your Atomiswave and you'll be scratching your head. So the guide I followed wasn't right, so I'm going to tell you how to do it right. Now, if you want to do it the no solder way, obviously you're going to use these connectors. So you want to put red in with red. So red from the fan in with red from the Atomiswave connector and then lock it together. That's perfect. Yellow is wrong. Do not connect these 2 yellow wires together because it will do nothing for the system. You want to leave the Atomiswave wire here out, and you want to put it in with the black, so you're grounding it. So black to black is good, but don't lock it in until you've added the yellow wire as well. So you're going to have yellow, I mean, maybe I can draw this. You're going to run the yellow from the Atomiswave in with the black wire. So you're going to have red, red, yellow and black into the black. So red, red, yellow and black together with the black. Once you've done that, it's perfect. If you do connect both yellow together from the fan and the Atomiswave, like you did it by mistake, it won't cause any damage. But as I said, it's not going to do anything for the sound for the system. There'll be no sound whatsoever. And if anything, like, it'll cause a bit of feedback. So yeah, again, red from the Atomiswave wire in with the red of the fan and lock. That's done. Yellow and black from the Atomiswave wire in to the black of the fan. So all these 2 and the 1 from the fan, and you're good as gold, and that'll be beautiful. So of course, if you do want to solder it instead, some people might not want to use the snap lock connectors, but that's down to them. If you do want to solder it, again, cut off a good length of wire from the connector on the Atomiswave fan, which is what's here. You can't see the connectors. I've just taken this off of Google. This isn't my image. You're going to be with the red, the black, and the yellow. I think it's in that order. You will want to obviously solder the red end of the fan connector to the red end of the fan on the Noctua. The black obviously goes to the black of the fan. The yellow, you don't need it at all, so you can just like tape it off. Now if you do want to use sound on the system, which obviously you do, you're going to have to ground these two pins. So this is the black and this is the yellow, I think, just from that little bit I can see at the top here. You just ground them with solder. So red to red, black to black, and then solder across these two, bridge these two pins, and it will be brilliant. You'll get all the sound, the fan will be working at normal speed, correct, good as gold. Okay, so when you're all done, red is to red, black and yellow into the black connector, you are good as gold. Now, the fan's going to be mounted this way. They've got kind of little rubber edges to them, so the fan's a bit tighter in the case, so just be careful of that, but that's going to stop vibrations, which is great. They're on either side of this fan, and this fan is slightly smaller, I think by like 1 or 2 mil than the stock fan, and it runs at 3,500 RPM instead of 7.5, but runs much cooler. The wires come out here from the fan. You want to angle it this way, because if this connector here is up the top, then of course it's going to catch on, well, it will catch on this bit and the case when you shut it. So when you are putting the case on top, just be wary that you can catch these wires. Don't just slam it down and punch it down. Just gently put it on, and if you need to, like screwdriver, just push this back a little bit and it will go on nice and easy, but it will be tight because of these rubber pieces that are to stop vibrations. But yeah, this is how it will look afterwards. And then once the case is on, it fits all snugly like that, and it looks beautiful, and it will sound incredible, as you'll hear in the next bit. Now, of course, that's going to sound maybe a lot louder than it actually is, but that is pretty good. It's really quiet. I mean, getting closer probably isn't going to do it any favours, but when you're sitting back, it's not so bad now. Like it's like a quarter of the sound. And then, of course, now it's on the TV. When I actually put the game on, you can't hear the fan, because before it was like and then blowing your mind, and doing live streams everyone can hear it. Now that should fix it and make it a lot better. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. It's not going to be to everyone's taste because, of course, not everyone's going to have an Atomiswave, and they're it's a pretty small market for people who are into it. But of course, you've got the Dreamcast now, like mods for it and stuff, so you can, port it over to the Dreamcast and play it. But if you did think about getting a Atomiswave, maybe using it in a consoleized form, or maybe using it in like a super gun way, so you can use it in the room with you and not be deafened like you've got a Dyson on full blast, then this should help you. But yeah, I'm going to go play some Atomiswave now. Have a great day and stay safe.